I think my opinion is that every single woman is a force of nature that wants to be unleashed in her lifetime. And I see this as possible. I know shit looks really like dark at the Momo, but I really see that it is a time that the feminine is being called on.
I'm so excited to introduce you to today's guest. Perhaps you already know her. Her name is Regena Thomashauer, otherwise known as Mama Gena. She's the New York Times bestselling author of Pussy, a Reclamation, and I met her when I was 22, and I rolled up in the living room of her brownstone to take a class that she taught in her living room at the time called Mama Gena's School of Womanly Arts. And this woman absolutely changed my life. She changed my relationship with my body, my relationship with men, my relationship with pleasure and sensuality, and my aliveness. And I would not be the woman I am today without Regena. She helped us heal a legacy of suppression, I would say, in my maternal lineage, of suppression of our life force energy. And my daughters are having a better experience of being girls in this world because of Regena. Her work has been featured on the Today Show, by the New York Times, by Allure magazine. She used to run an incredible program called Mastery, where she would teach up to 2,500 women at the Javits Center in New York City. She is a pioneer, a world changer. She's hysterical. She is a surrogate mother to me. I cried basically through the entire episode. She's a surrogate bubby to my girls, and I'm so excited for you to get to know and love Mama Gena as much as I do. Welcome to Plenty. I'm your host, Kate Northrup, and together we are going on a journey to help you have an incredible relationship with money, time, and energy, and to have abundance on every possible level. Every week, we're going to dive in with experts and insights to help you unlock a life of plenty. Let's go fill our cups.
Please note that the opinions and perspectives of the guests on the Plenty podcast are not necessarily reflective of the opinions and perspectives of Kate Northrup or anyone who works within the Kate Northrup brand.
Thanks for being
So
here.
happy to be here. This feels like a date with destiny. It was worth waiting for.
So fun.
Yes.
I'm so excited to get to
Probe.
Yeah.
Probe is called Probing the Queen.
Probe. Okay. So first of all, I want to start off with, you know this, but I would not be the woman I am today without you. And I just want to say thanks.
I can't even tell you how much that means to me, and it's an honor it's been to know and love you since you were 22.
20 years.
And your sister and your mama, and just like the impact of that whole magnificent, crazy mother-daughter ride, your stepping gently into womanhood, from girlhood into womanhood, into marriage, into motherhood. And now I know your little girls, and we love each other so much that they even wanted me to come for dinner last night. And I'm so grateful I'm going to see them on Sunday. Like, it's almost the beauty of life sometimes is it's not intolerable. It's something like that. Like, it's difficult to hold in its majesty and wonder. And let's say you are somebody who always puts me in that place and reminds me of that place because we have loved each other a long time.
We really have.
Yeah.
So when I was 22 and I showed up at your brownstone for Mama Gena 101. What was it called back then?
It was just called Mama Gena School of Womanly Arts.
It was called Mama Gena School of Womanly Arts. Okay, great. So I
think nickname was Mama 101.
Mama 101. I took it in your living room, and I was 22. I was very freshly graduated from college.
Yes.
And from Brown. Yeah.
She went to Brown. Proud.
Thanks. Such a proud mama. And I had read this book called The Rules when I was 14.
I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember you in The Rules.
I had read this book called The Rules when I was 14. Whatever, all writing is fine, and I believe in freedom of speech. But that book did not do me any favors.
No.
And I went through high school and college
Oh, God.
believing that it was desperate and slutty to give any man or any human an indication that I might be interested in them. And as a result, you can imagine that I had a lot of time to build my business, which I'm grateful for. But like, it wasn't until I started to be in your world that I was like, wait a second, it's okay to wink at a stranger across a room.
Yeah.
And so I just, you've impacted me so much in my work, in my whatever, but just like the permission to be a desirous woman is so huge, and it really changed my life. And I would not be married to Mike if it weren't for you.
Yay.
And and it's going to live on in my girls. So
Yay.
just know that at least in our family, the work lives on forever. And also the families of millions of other women around the world.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And then you learned kind of like, okay, I make my own rules. Well, my pussy makes the rules, and then I follow.
Makes the rules.
I surrender and I obey.
For you. So you wrote this New York Times bestselling book called Pussy, which is just a revolution in itself.
Yes.
Why and when did you start using the word pussy?
Yeah. It was a research project because I ultimately, people think, I don't know what people think. They think I just lie around and have sex all day and take baths and eat chocolate or something like that. That's what being the pleasure queen is. It's not really like that, but mostly what they don't know is I'm basically a nerd of let's call it ancient culture, indigenous traditions. I'm a deep observer of the nature of the feminine based on my own research and my own studies of orgasm and the years of learning about my own body and et cetera. So when I first started the School of Womanly Arts, I didn't exactly know what to call. Women would come to me and they would be like, oh, this is my hooch. This is my down there. This is my front bottom. Or maybe this is nothing, or maybe vagina, or maybe pancake, or.
Growing up, it was called patootie at my house.
Patootie. Okay.
Patootie,
Then that's
which is
the child
hysterical.
of a gynecologist. Yeah. Okay. So now it was intriguing to me because I thought, what divisive conditioning is that women don't even have in common the name of that which is most essentially feminine about ourselves, the heart of our womanhood, and we can't even agree on a term. So I thought, well, what happens? So when I would hear from the vagina people, and they would be like, I have a vagina. I have a vagina. And then that would hear from the nothing people or from the coochie or the so forth. The only place is when I would hear a woman using the word pussy, she would light up like
Instantly.
Firework. Instantly. I do not know why it brought so much joy. I cannot tell you. It was almost like she knew she was being naughty, conspiratorial. She knew she was in some way liberating herself by taking back a word that had been used pejoratively either against her or inside of her life for her entire life, or, where, let's say when somebody's accusing her or a man of being a pussy, that is one of the highest strikes against him or her. So she was like doing this little act of reclamation in just saying the word. And I thought, all right, great pussy in the sky. Pussy it is. Pussy it is. Pussy now, pussy forever. And I was so scared when the School of Womanly Arts came out because it said pussy in the 3rd chapter. And I thought, people will detect this and they will come after me.
Yeah.
It was fine.
And then cut to you, 15 years later, writing a book called Pussy.
It was always the plan.
Because we grow and we evolve.
Yeah. It was always like the plan, but I knew that the culture wasn't ready for it at that time, and that I had to wave around a bunch of pink feathers and boas. Like literally, I got to the Standard Hotel a few days ago, and Crispy, the concierge, love her. She's been there for 15 years, I would say.
Incredible.
She says, I looked around for the pink boas. I couldn't find them. It was like, I can't even believe you still have some.
Room. Right,
yes.
because you used to host events at the Standard.
I did. And everybody knew who I was or who the school was because of the pink boas.
You were coming.
So it was sort of a way to penetrate the culture gently with the enlivening, joyful space of the feminine without offending anyone.
And what you do so brilliantly, and you taught me how to do, is one of the foundational aspects of your work, is appreciation.
Yeah.
And that we can open, maybe not any door, but most.
Many
doors. We can open many doors with appreciation and approval. Can you talk to me about that? Because it is unbelievable still to this day.
Yeah.
The level of disapproval in women of themselves, of the world, of their men, of their women, of their humans, of their mothers, of their fathers, of everything.
Yeah.
Like disapproval is like an addiction. Why is that? And what's the antidote?
I would call it more than an addiction. I would call it a deliberate conspiracy of the patriarchal world culture to disempower the feminine such that she feels outcast, outsider, voiceless, disempowered, disconnected from her body, disconnected from her sensual aliveness, disconnected from her sisterhood, disconnected from her beauty, and deeply disconnected from her own power. And that results in women spending vast amounts of money inside our capitalistic culture to try to feel right about themselves. You know, women are buying things on Amazon every second to make them look younger or tighter or have hair of a different color or feel more alive, or products to thin their thighs or flatten their belly, or all the things we do and have done and will continue to do, because we never feel right. We never feel that approval and appreciation that is our birthright, that we can only access through pleasure. But when a woman is cut off from her pussy, which our culture teaches us really from the moment even when we're still in diapers, what replaces connection and wholeness is a sense of shame. I mean, if she can't even say the goddamn motherfucking word vulva, which by the way is the term that if you're a mom, please teach that to your little girl.
Vulva is what vagina. We go with in our house.
Don't teach your little girl pussy. That is incorrect. No. It's vulva. Vulva. But let's say if she never feels as proud or accepting of her vulva as she does of her forehead, her life is hosed.
You know, this was very powerful when I was 22. However, I will tell you, having a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, especially like my 9-year-old on the precipice of coming into preteen and just knowing what happens.
Yeah.
And it has changed my relationship with my own body and myself to be able to know that like whatever I am not only saying around them, but feeling around them, they will pick up.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, for better or for worse.
Yeah. And it's an interesting question because moms will always come and take my classes, whether it's virtual pleasure boot camp or GPS or my mastermind or teacher training. And the first question is, or grandma, how can I teach my daughter to love herself? And the only answer is, you got to learn the way yourself. You
got to love yourself.
Because we don't realize that we're living inside sort of an epidemic, Like there's a silent, virulent condition that women spread without knowing it. 100%. We spread the condition of self-hate if we hate ourselves, self-doubt if we doubt ourselves, self-deprecation if we deprecate. Like we are in control of the messaging that we give to the girls of today who will be the women of tomorrow by the way we treat ourselves. And it's invisible because almost every woman that you encounter is living some level of victimization, thinking everyone has a better job than her, a better social life than her, a better amount of money than she has. Like we are always in a comparison and finding ourselves short. And so when that happens, we're teaching our little girls and our little boys that message. And so that's why I've been shaking my, pom-poms on the pleasure highway for all these years.
And it's not for the faint of heart.
No.
So we're living in a time, of course, I don't know what's going to be happening in the world when this episode comes out, but
yeah.
I cannot imagine
It'll
suddenly
be any more calm than it is right now.
Yeah, I cannot imagine suddenly everything will be fixed.
Yeah.
How do you, as the queen of pleasure, as a pleasure revolutionary who's had so much practice in approval, in finding your pleasure in any situation, what does one do in a time like right now, or really any time when there are unbelievable atrocities going on in the world, when there are things that we cannot stand for? Like, how is pleasure part of the equation?
One simple, not simple, simple, so hard way. Choose your aliveness, no matter what. Choose your erotic connection, that sensual fire that burns within, that life force that streams through you, that comes from the sun, that comes from the plants.
Even if they're fake?
Maybe not these plants. No.
But the pregnant belly cast.
But that one, yeah. Like the aliveness that is always everywhere that we can choose to tap into. Why? Because when there is that sense of aliveness, you can't be trounced by doubt, depression, or what the wider culture wishes for us all to be scared, disconnected, and disempowered. If we have that inner sense of our own, just the simple joy of the gift of life, which is so immeasurable, you could not pay back the privilege of 1 second of life. It's impossible. It's just so just out of control, magically blissful, absolutely such a deep, profound privilege, even one breath. So if we can connect to that, then that means we're connected to ourselves and we can connect to other human beings. And when there's aliveness within, connection without, anything is possible. Transitions for the miraculous can happen in a microsecond. We've seen it time and time again. So even without knowing what is possible, how we can possibly transform what is happening now is not important. The important thing is to keep tending that fire within and keep seeing sister when you look in another woman's eyes, and brother when you look in a man's eyes. And through that connection, miracles can take place. They always have. Yes, there have been wars that have seemed endless and insurmountable, and they always end. So we're in the middle of it right now, but aliveness is the way through.
Aliveness is the way through. So I met you as Mama Gena, and then I have had the absolute pleasure and privilege to really know Regena.
Yes.
Especially more in the recent years.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you.
And I'm curious if you can talk about who Mama Gena is and why she came about so that you could steward this work.
Yeah. Basically, the experience of my work was, kind of an inward journey, as I know yours was as well. Let's say those hard-won lessons are the lessons that are then ours to hold space for in the world, if that is our calling, and what a privilege that is, and what it's the price of living your truth, your calling, your dharma, whatever, is the greatest adventure, and not an easy path. But I don't think life is easy. I think it's magnificent obstacles for us to keep building our motherfucking muscles over and over again.
Yeah.
So I recognized, I since I was a little girl, and I had an experience of the goddess coming to me as a child, I've always been interested, like, whoa, what is that, and why, and where is she from? Where does she live? Where does she belong? And then as I grew up and realized, like, oh, absolutely no one prays to her. They don't think much of her. They just pray to men, basically. So I thought, okay, let me see if I can do my part to bring her forward, because I think she's at least as important as the divine masculine. And so I recognized that it was through pleasure, because of my own training in orgasm through my work at Lafayette Morehouse. I learned how to have an extended massive orgasm. I learned to demonstrate extended massive orgasm, be certified. So I really took a deep dive. I went from like a celibate hermit into the deep end of exploring pleasure. And I recognized women absolutely have no clue about the importance of pleasure. It's so crazy, because we have an organ on our body, 8 or 10,000 nerve endings dedicated to pleasure, but we don't activate a single one. We think other people are supposed to activate our pleasure for us. It's like one of the worst hypnotic trances of the earth. But so I thought, oh, damn, I had the gift of awakening. I must awaken others. Okay, but I'm just a shy, introverted hippie chick. How am I going to do this? And then I had my daughter Maggie, and I thought, oh no, I really have to do this, because I felt like, when you have a baby, you feel, I thank you, ancestresses, and how do I pad the way in the world for this little being? Like, how do I make the world a place that can handle who and what a little girl is or a woman is? And I thought, okay, that's have to do that. And I thought, all right, I've just became a mama. All right, I know. I'll start the School of Womanly Arts, and I'll be Mama Gena. And then I don't have to be shy and introverted. I'll be Mama Gena.
Because you kind of are shy and introverted.
No, totally.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
not all
yeah.
the time, but like I've witnessed you in many social situations where it's another face of the goddess.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
A beautiful face of the goddess.
Thank you.
So you birthed Maggie.
Yes.
And Mama Gena, right around the same time, came to steward this
to the rescue
into the world, so that you could embody this other version of you.
Yeah. And
more fearlessly or courageously. How would you describe it? What was the word?
I would say she was kind of like a cross between Auntie Mame Marie Curie. She had a little bit of, I got inspired by like the prime of Miss Jean Brodie and Girls' School and all that kind of thing. And the courtesans, of course. The courtesans were so impactful. So I didn't know who she was really, or what she wore or anything about her. And I had a friend, we kept going to thrift shops that had zero money, but we found a pair of pink silk pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
And a pink fan, which I wore steadfastly, more or less, till it completely wore to shreds for many years, because it was the only thing I could be Mama Gena. And then I put a boa on that felt better. And so basically the persona got built that enabled me to open doors for others, because it's a lot to take on the most outcast, disparaged aspect of the feminine all by yourself and bring her back to life. And I was a little bit afraid, I was a baby, and I thought, well, how will I wave the pussy flag and go to PTA meetings? Or seemed like a little difficult, but Mama Gena was to the rescue. And Mama helped me. She helped me pull it off. Yeah.
So then beyond the brownstone, then came mastery, and then came doing this work for hundreds of women in massive.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't happen overnight, but that happened.
Like literally, I would say through my books, it's probably hundreds of thousands of women. Yeah. And then through actually people that I have taught, at least 80,000.
Yeah, easily more.
Yeah.
Right, 80,000
that I know of.
And then the people who were in your, so the other day I just want to tell you this funny little story, because like it's an example of how this work works and how the goddess is ushering it all. So I was doing a case study interview with someone who had been through my program, Relax Money, and asking her how she heard about the program or whatever. Apparently, she had seen something come across her feed on Instagram about it. And then she saw me post in my free workshop, a photo. I had on a slide a photo of my apartment in New York City. And she saw in the background my pole and a pink feather. And she was like, oh, that is a sister goddess. I can trust her.
Damn.
And so she signed up.
Damn.
Isn't that cool? So it's
that
like
is so
this.
Cool.
Anyway, it was just like anyway, so you then, what was the biggest room that you were sharing this work with live? How many women at a time in person when you were doing mastery or those?
It
large...
started like with 10 women in my living room, and then
which is
probably,
I was part of the last round.
Yeah, probably the largest venue would be Javits Center, which is like 2,500 women.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and here's the crazy part: as it scaled and got bigger, it was just as intimate.
Yes, it was. I mean, I wasn't at the Javits Center, but I was in those like multiple hundreds of
people. Yeah.
The magic. I took mastery 5 times.
Great. So good. It was smart.
Because the magic of being in that room.
Yeah.
It felt so. It's hard to describe. But it was like intoxicating in the best way. The transformation that I would witness when I never said a thing.
Yes.
I just like couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
God, it felt good.
Me neither. Could not get enough of that.
And so you decided you were told, you were guided, GPS told you in 2019.
Yeah.
That it was the last year.
Yeah.
And you closed mastery.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Okay, first of all, I would never have stopped. To be able to have that gift of holding hands with a great pussy in the sky and just unleashing the most astonishing magic, joy, heartbreak, devastation, celebration, like by the floodgates were opened. Like it was like nothing else. Like nothing else. And it was an intense, intimate co-creation between every single woman in those rooms, the space I held, and that which is greater than me, like having a fucking party that all beings had been denied for thousands and thousands of years. And that, like, it was like a rock concert for the gods and goddesses that we all got to party at until we dropped. And I would never, ever have stopped, except literally it was killing me.
Like you were getting physically sick? What was happening?
It was more like this. my staff, my team was like dream. So we were together for so many years. And so they pulled me aside like a year before Mastery ended. And they're like, Regina, this is literally killing us. We don't have time for our children, our partners. We adore you. We adore this. We can't go on. And so I just listened to them and I looked at their lives. And because holding open this portal is a big thing, because you are saying yes to everything that the wider culture says no to every drop, what has been raped, pillaged, defiled, decimated, destroyed,
Silenced.
violent, like that aspect of the feminine that's held in her body, held in her sensuality, held in her pussy. So when you hold open and say, yes, it is your time to emerge. And as soon as you open that aspect of the feminine to pleasure, what immediately crashes through is all the places she's been destroyed and violated and devastated, not just in her lifetime, but in all the lifetimes of the mothers, the grandmothers, the great-grandmothers, women who could not speak on their own behalf, women who could not stand for themselves, women who don't have the freedoms that we have now. So we were dealing with generational trauma, ancestral trauma, and I was saying, bring it, motherfuckers, bring it. You have home here. We got this. But it was, for example, in my final season of Mastery, I had booked a cathedral on Park Avenue for the entire season. I felt like I was mending the hole in the soul of the patriarchy, single-handedly bridging, because they had said to me, we think your work heals families. Have the cathedral for the whole season. I was ecstatic. I thought, this proves that my life has meant something, that there has been some repair. And we got thrown out the very first weekend we delivered Mastery. Thrown out. 1,000 women during bar mitzvah and wedding season and graduation season in New York City with no venue. And so my team, for years, now this is going on, 20 years, had to deal with things like that.
Yeah.
Deal with the accusations that venues made because they had nothing to do with us. They actually loved us. But it would be things like, well, we think you've put pussy juice on the seats of our performing arts center and perhaps the walls. So there'll be a special cleaning fee. And you need to cover the furniture in plastic for each session from here forward, because they heard there was some nudity in the room. So, it's like crazy how triggered not just people in the room were, but the beautiful, gorgeous people that were hosting us had challenges that then my team would have to mitigate between the sessions, which, I'm a badass. I kind of loved it all in a certain kind of way. I'm like, okay, here we go again. All right, what do we need to create? What do we need to do here? How do we rise? Because she never gives us challenges that we can't rise to. But it was actually exhausting. And we were doing, it was like running a full-on Broadway show for 20 years.
It was the greatest show on earth.
The greatest show on earth.
By far.
By far. There's no comparison. So when they told me they could not go on, and also at that time, my daughter was struggling with an eating disorder. I have her permission to speak about that. I had no time for a relationship because it was too consuming, and I wouldn't have traded it for a boyfriend. It was so exciting and delightful, but it was clear to me that the great pussy in the sky, the universe, the forces that are bigger than us, was saying, Time. It's time. So I stopped.
Right on time for the world to shut down.
I guess so.
Because you wouldn't have been able to hold live events
for a
long
she
time.
saved me like millions because nobody knew what to do
was coming.
or what was coming. She literally saved my life. But I would say it's very hard to recover from that gift and that identity.
And I want to know, so here we are it's actually 6 years
Yeah.
after, maybe 5.5 years after your final mastery. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was spring or fall, but
Yeah.
like, how's it going now? What are you doing? I mean, I know, but I want people to know, like, what are some of those pieces you've been walking through?
Yeah. First, my daughter's recovery, which it has been unbelievable. She is the most remarkable, brave, courageous, gorgeous, extraordinary human being, and is like she explodes my heart with gratitude and joy and appreciation of her every single day. I'm like teary, like my people have a word, verklempt.
Yeah. I love that word.
She holds me in my verklempt. So every time I talk to her, I'm like, oh my God, you're amazing. You're a miracle. Okay. And then I have had the privilege of love, of receiving the love of a beautiful, healthy, sexy king of a man that
Stable,
strong,
smart, loving,
stable,
funny.
loving, funny, brilliant, just all the things, loves me so much, just like cherishes me. I could not have had that while all that other was going on. And he came into my life almost like, here, let me just really gently escort you down from the pedestal. Must be lonely up there. Come down. Let's go for a walk. Let's
did
see
you
what the
meet
world
him?
is like.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met him. When was Trump elected the first time?
2016.
That's when I met him.
Oh, you met him in 2016. Okay.
Yes. That is when it happened. And so he was there. He got to see it all and stand with me and for me while all of it transitioned. So
he did know Mama Gena.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He met her, knows her very well. Yeah. He prefers Regina. And he always did.
Well, luckily.
Yeah, luckily, right? Because not everyone always did. A lot of people really preferred Mama Gena.
Sure.
She was very charming all the time.
She's quite charismatic,
Yeah,
but so is Regina.
Yeah. So he always was really clear about that. And it used to teach me, like it taught me like maybe there is something there in the Regina field. Like, because I thought it was just all about Mama Gena. I was like, Regina, really? Like you like her? What? You know, but now I've learned to like her more and more and more through him.
Wow.
I'm so lucky to have him. I never had anybody, you know, like many women in our culture, I had incredible domestic violence growing up. So I never felt cherished, but I have lived to feel that. And I want that for everyone who wants it. Yeah.
What did it take in you to be able to receive that and open your heart?
MDMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
To learn how to surrender, you know, because I had a lot of PTSD from my childhood. And even with all the years of work, it wasn't until I had an experience of MDMA with Peter where I was like, oh, this is what it's like when the shields come down and my heart gets to open.
Yeah.
And I get to see you.
Yeah.
And I get to receive you and all the love that you have for me. And all the love that I've always had for you that I never was able to express. Like that I had so many walls up. I never knew how to bring them down. So, yay.
Do you think that work has rewired you to be able to access that patterning even when you are on a regular Tuesday drinking coffee?
Yeah,
sometimes.
It changed me. It changed me, but there's like a next step of surrender, which is the part of the title of my next book. It's the most important word in the title. Just haven't figured out where it goes, the beginning or the middle. Anyway, the surrender, right, is really, it's not about surrendering to the man, although it is that as well. It's about surrendering to the holy or the sacred that he holds or that life holds at every moment that we are normally blind to. And it's about a willingness to go back to that question or that observation you brought up. to the deep appreciation of the privilege of almost like seeing the holy everywhere. Yes. And especially when he's an utter asshole, when he's like rattling around the refrigerator too long, when he's, feeling weak or hurt or retracted into his little boy state, like to see the king in him and the God in him. And I can only do that when I stand in my sacred, impenetrable spot of my own surrender, of my own practice of pleasure, my own discipline. And so that muscle is getting stronger, but I still it's so hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
What is the sacred impenetrable spot?
It's a part of the feminine, kind of like this eternal flame that never goes out, but that we lose connection with. But when you connect with your sensuality, when you connect with your erotic, ding, you're like, oh, that motherfucking flame is lit. And it's always been there, but it's where women go the most rigid or go the most unconscious, is connecting with their sensuality. And it's something that we have collectively ignored for so long. And remembering it almost pisses a woman off. What? You want me to be turned on now? Like, fuck yeah.
Right.
No.
Like, I'm going through a divorce.
Yeah.
I have a sick child.
Uh-huh.
My house just burned down. How the fuck could turn on help me?
Exactly. And then they get resistant and rigid.
And you're so good at that. It's like terrifying to watch, but so scintillating at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a journey that we all have to take if we want to have lives we love. If we want to have mediocre lives, just like ignore your sensuality. Be there be shut down, be depressed, and have a great mediocre life. But if you want to have an ecstatic and exceptional life filled with miraculous adventures and devastations, then you connect with your sacred, impenetrable spot. Boom, boom.
So I want to connect the dots in case anybody isn't like fully grasping. What Regena is talking about is that our pleasure, our sensuality, our turn on is actual life force. That is the divine spark. That is the animating force that is the reason we are alive. Mm-hmm. It is where babies come from. It is where creativity comes from. Mm-hmm. It is it.
Yes.
With a capital I.
Yes.
And so this isn't about
with
it's
a little
not
dot on the eye.
With a dot.
A little special dot
at the top.
On the top.
Yeah, it's not frivolous.
No.
It's actually the most revolutionary power we have because it is our power.
Yeah.
So tell me about an example of surrender when you're cranky, when your man is not standing in his consciousness of his king energy, when things are annoying you, when you're just like, meh, 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 I'm crusty and dry and prickly and shut down. In that moment, it literally feels like finding pleasure and approval is like, oh, yeah, great. I'm just going to hop on a rocket to another solar system right now. It feels so unavailable.
Yeah, it
what do
truly
we
does.
do?
Well, first of all, grabbing a copy of anything that Mama Gena wrote will be an instant reminder, whether it's The School of Womanly Arts, whether it's Pussy, any one of my books, just finding me somewhere on Instagram, because my transmission is rather high.
It is. And your Instagram is super fun.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to say that this is not work that is easy when a woman is on her own. A woman alone is truly a self-destructive mechanism. She will.
That's so true.
She will destroy her own turn on, and she will go down in a ball of flames, feeling
Cranky
right about
flames.
it.
Yeah, feeling right about it.
Like, fuck you all.
Pissed and right.
Yes. See how it sucks for me right now? Let me show you. But inside of a community, which is why all of my courses are created around community, that is where we can breathe life into one another. Like if you call a sister goddess, if you text a sister goddess, if you create a little sister goddess bragging circle or pussy of reclamation circle, if you have women who are willing to practice, who know you are more than the victim you have painted across your face right now. You are more than whatever devastation of circumstances in which you find yourself. Like to have a woman reflect your light instead of your darkness is the way we're going to change the world. Doesn't take long. It's just instantaneously like you can recreate it instead of a virulent condition of turn off, you can create a virulent condition of turn on. And that's what you felt in the mastery rooms.
And it is contagious. And I'll tell you, so we went to dinner the other night.
Yep.
And with a remarkable group of women.
Yep.
And I heard from one of them later on that purely being there in that energy changed her entire state of being. And
Was it the woman sitting to my right? My left? Yes.
And within 24 hours, she was taking different action steps behind the scenes in her life.
Yeah.
And we have been hosting those dinners and they're always wonderful.
Yeah.
However, because you were there, there was because of who you are and also what you ignite in me, there was this energy that it just like, she didn't have to do steps or like work on mindset or change her thoughts or like not to say that stuff isn't valuable. You know, I teach that stuff, but like it just changes you. The end automatically because it's just contagious. And then she was different instantly. And
here's the thing is, it won't last.
Right.
She needs to get in one of my courses.
Exactly. You need to stay.
Can she come into
in the work?
The mastermind that's starting soon?
Maybe.
She should hit me up because I only have like 6 seats left in it.
Okay, great.
But there's something huge coming in the fall that's going to be super fun and accessible too. So
okay.
I'll get her.
Okay.
I'll get her
You'll
because
get her.
she's well, I think my opinion is that every single woman is a force of nature that wants to be unleashed in her lifetime. And I see this as possible. I know shit looks really like dark at the Momo, but I really see that it is a time that the feminine is being called on.
It is
called
on.
upon to rise. And rise we must.
Rise we must.
Rise we shall.
I have a question.
Yeah.
One of the biggest storylines in my family when I was in your course. Many times. I at first came, I think maybe just with my sister, and then my mom came in. There was always some constellation.
Was it Annie first, and then
Annie came first, so she came to your brownstone first,
and then
I came. Then we both were in mastery. I think together, possibly.
Remember when you brought your mom? It was so secret.
That was fun.
It was so fun. Yeah,
that was super fun. Yeah. Well, but it was actually, as you know, it was our mother who sent us. In secret. As like little spies. And we would just call her and tell her everything that happened after every class. It was amazing. So then I was like, Mom, she assigned us your book as homework, but I'm not going to read it because I feel like you already told me what was in there. And she was like, oh, she knows who I am. I was like, she does. So anyway, we were in there in some constellation of the three of us. And something that came up for us was how deeply uncomfortable it was to witness our mother in her erotic energy. And that seems to be something that you and Maggie, of course, I have no freaking clue how it actually is with you two, but like in things I witness, I know Maggie took mastery. And I'm curious, what is that about? Why in our culture is it so uncomfortable to witness our mother as an erotic woman. And this is not the case for all of my friends, but it certainly has been the case in my family. And it's not something that I desire to recreate with my children.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not really the why queen because I think
Great. I love that.
Even once you learn the why, it doesn't solve the problem.
Fantastic.
Right?
What a great answer.
So
My answer is no to that question.
But what I have noticed is that it's like, I think it's a consequence of that level of self-hatred and the repression of sensuality that's just epidemic in the wider culture. And also, we have lost pre-patriarchy, which is, by the way, just like a little snowflake in the timeline of life itself, right? Because it was, 30,000, 50,000 years that the goddess was worshipped alongside the god. And during those days, your sensual education, your education about pleasure, your erotic aliveness was passed mother to daughter. Like your mama would teach you about your body, about your sensuality, about your pussy. Like it was your mama, your aunties. It was part of the lineage that we have now lost. And so I think that probably the thing that I've done the best with Maggie is just to stay in my aliveness, even when she was not alive about my aliveness.
Yeah.
Like I can literally remember, like if I went wild on dance floor, dancing with somebody or some guy, she would like insert her little tiny 7-year-old body in there and be like, mm. And so I would just go like, yeah, go great. You want to dance with us? We're going to go dance with us. And so it was something that I never found her wrong for her disapproval, but I never dimmed my light. And I think the tricky bit is when a woman chooses to dim her light, that's when we fuck it up for ourselves and our children.
Totally, because then our children become the henchwomen and men of the patriarchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally living in our houses. So the other day, my oldest daughter, Penelope, when I go to her school, she likes to pick my outfits, which is fascinating.
Isn't that fascinating? Maggie used to do the same thing.
So interesting.
Whoa.
So we had this thing at her school and she was like, Mama, can I pick what you're going to wear? And I said, yes, these are the 5 dresses that came from Rent the Runway. You can choose one of these. So not full bore on my closet, but just like, these are your choices. So she chose one. And she also chose my shoes. And so I go to her Spanish presentation, and I asked her, like, why? Tell me more. Like, what is it about wanting to get me dressed for your school that it feels important to you? And she was like, and she said, because I don't want you to embarrass me. And I was like, okay, cool. So tell me more about that. Like, what happens if I show up? Because she doesn't like it when I like wear no makeup and I'm just showing up in my gym clothes. And I'm like, so what happens then? And she was like, because the other little girls or their moms will say like, oh, look at what she's wearing, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's super fascinating. Also, I feel great in everything I wear. So like, it was just, I was like, thanks for your share. And fascinating that I don't talk about other women and what they wear in a judgy way at all. That's not in my household, but it's in the culture. And now she's wanting to kind of like,
protect herself
and me from the culture. And so I can see how my job is to, like you said, not disapprove of her. And also just like, and she'll do the same thing if I'm dancing in a way she doesn't, or if I'm singing whatever. She's like, Mama, no. Like she's been embarrassed of me probably since she was 2, which is fascinating. Yeah. And so I just am like, cool, you get to feel however you're going to feel. And I'm just going to be over here. But it is really interesting.
It is really interesting.
And it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If you can really
I know. I had this such a funny experience that you will love with Maggie. I visit her. This is when she's in sleepaway camp at Hidden Valley Camp, which I think I went to see your mom.
You did.
Yeah. Okay. So I go up there and I'm from New York City. And so I don't have any main clothes. So I go to LL Bean.
Amazing.
And I get like some of those, I don't know what they're cargo shorts or whatever.
Wow.
Like kind of that kind of thing. And some Maine t-shirts, like whatever I think they are, and Maine shoes.
So great.
Tivas.
Yeah, Tivas for sure.
So I could look right. And so she sees me walking in for parents visiting day and bursts into tears. And I'm like, what's the matter? And she's like, look at what you're wearing. I was like, I bought main clothes. And she said, I told everyone you were going to be so glamorous because you're from New York City. You're going to be so beautiful, glamorous. So you just never know. Obviously, I should have done what you did, which is call her first and say, what do you want me to wear?
Oh, gee. Oh my God.
I know. There's so much.
It's fraught.
It's fraught. It's a fraught world.
But at the end of the day, ultimately, our one and only job is to stay connected to our turn on.
To our turn on with our men, with our daughters, or women, or sons, or the work we do.
Yes. Our money,
our housework.
Yeah. All of it.
All the things.
Right.
All the things.
Our political activism.
Oh, absolutely. Most importantly, like all the ways, turn on rules. It gives you a pathway that will always, not just elevate you, but everyone around you. And no other pathway provides that. Mm-mm. So you have to be a brave wildcat to choose the path of pleasure. But you are a brave wildcat. By the way, can I just say your interview style is amazing. You are so good at this. Clearly, you're doing the work you were born to do.
Thank you.
It's very beautiful to see and witness and experience. Not that I'd expect anything less, but you are rocking the shit out of this.
Thank you. It's true. I love you so much, Regina.
Oh, likewise.
Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for ushering me into womanhood and for being a friend.
Oh,
it's
my
just
goodness.
So beautiful.
And thank you for blazing the trails you blaze.
Love you so much. Okay, wait, I forgot to ask you the thing I'm supposed to ask, which is like if people want to find you, because they obviously do. I mean, clearly everyone knows who you are anyway. But in case
if people want to find me,
what should they go do and find and invite them?
There's two things people should do if they want to find me.
Great.
Find me on Instagram because my Instagram is so great. It's Mama Gena.
It's very sexy also.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Then they need to go to my website and sign up for my newsletter. Because I write amazing blogs.
It is.
I am such a good writer.
Regina's newsletters, I think I read 95% of them, which is a lot.
Thank you.
Your writing
Thank you.
is exquisite.
Thank you, baby.
It takes me on a journey and it gives me a small taste of what I felt in the mastery rooms.
That is so
good. And so I just want to say,
Yay.
like, if you've been mouth-watering listening to this and wanting, get on the email list. It is so fucking good.
Yay. Thank you.
I will never unsubscribe.
Yay. Thank you. It's mamagenas.com. MAMAGENAS.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So there's fun things happening there.
And all your books. Pussy, Mama Gena School of Womanly Arts, Mama Gena's Guide to Owning and Operating Men, or Owning and Operating
Mama Gena's
Owners and Operators Guide to Men.
Yep.
Phenomenal book.
It's very helpful.
It's so practical.
It needs to be reread by me now and then because being in the deep end of a relationship is not a joke, and I keep it nearby.
Reread by me. It is.
Don't you reread your own books occasionally just to remember that you were brilliant when you wrote it and yours reminding you?
No, I never have, but I probably should. So that's a good tip. Thank you. I love you eternally.
I love you
Thank
too,
you for
baby.
being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Plenty. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review. That's one of the best ways that you can ensure to spread the abundance of plenty with others. You can even text it to a friend and tell them to listen in. And if you want even more support to expand your abundance, head over to katenorthrup.com/breakthroughs, where you can grab my free money breakthrough guide that details the biggest money breakthroughs from some of the top earning women I know, plus a mini lesson accompanying it with my own biggest money breakthroughs and a nervous system healing tool for you to expand your abundance. Again, that's over at katenorthrup.com/breakthroughs. See you next time.